Hello, welcome. Welcome to Animal Corner. Today, of course, it's brunch day right here in my kitchen. Today, we are going to be making vegan lemon blueberry muffins. Of course, the blueberries are in my freezer still, but I use them all the time. All right. First, we're going to add 2 cups of flour. Oh, I didn't do my entry. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. All right. Today, it's brunch day. You got your aid. You just got out of the cult. You got your aids from the NJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. You got your apartment. You got your car. But you need one, and you got the clothes on your back that they helped you also out with. But you need one more necessity: cooking. So, as I said, this is the most important thing that you need to survive in the world today, besides having your job. Because guess what? You're going to have to eat sometimes, okay? Now I'm ready to dive in. Okay, first you need 2.5 cups of flour. First. Two and a half cups. And then you need two tablespoons flax seeds. Of course, guess what? If you don't have grounded up flax seeds, but you have a coffee grinder, you can use your coffee grinder to grind up your flax seeds. Okay, you add that in. Then you add 2 teaspoons and a half of baking powder. Half baking powder. Go. Then put my baking powder in. And then you need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Now, as I put in the ingredient, I'm going to put everything back so I can have room. All right. Then you're going to put in 1 cup. Stir these up. Okay. And you're going to need 3/4 cups of maple syrup. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. Okay. Stir this around. Now, it's in a liquid form. Of course, you know maple syrup always is. Okay. Then you're going to need 1/4 cup of olive oil. First, put in all your dried ingredients and mix it around. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to put this back. Okay, then you're going to need 1 cup of non-dairy milk. All right. Now I'm going to use the oat milk that I made 3 weeks ago. Or no, it was 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Yeah, it might have been 3 weeks ago. Anyway, we're going to add 1 cup of non-dairy milk. Oops. Here we have it. Just stir this around. Am I going to have a disaster like I did yesterday? I don't think so. Okay. Okay. Yeah, put in like a half more. Let's see. Yeah, put in one. Let's see. One half more. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Now we're going to add, let's see, 1/4 cup lemon juice. Okay. Go. And we're going to stir it around. I'm sorry I'm not that interesting this morning. So we're going to stir around. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to put this thing away so it doesn't stand in the way. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this away too. Now, okay. Now we're going to put a cup and a half of blueberries. Okay. And I'm going to put in a cup and a half of blueberries. It's 1 cup. All right. Just a half. Now, am I frugal? No. I am not as frugal as Jenna is and Sam is. Now, as you know, Sam was also a former Scientologist. He's I don't remember how old he was. He said he was when he got out of Scientology. But let's see. Okay, you know what? Let me put this away. All right. I'm going to stir this around. Now, I wish I had an overhead to actually show you what this looks like. But all right. Okay. You know what? I don't want this on 400. So I'm just going to turn this down. Now I'm going to keep it on 375. Okay, it's ready to go in, but however, this isn't. So I did get this out of the internet, but I added maybe 1/4, 1/3 more cups. So I won't get hit with a copyright. So, okay. Is it a success? It is. I think it might have. I mean, not might have. I think it did, but yesterday I put about 2 cups of the broth in, but you know what? Only put about 1/2 of the water in. Don't put a cup in. Sorry about that, everybody, but I am trying to put my 2 cents in to help everybody out of Scientology. So, since I don't have the money to donate, I decided to add a cooking segment. So, all right, and all right, this is done. So, pull this out. Now, let's see if I have a cooking spray. Oh yeah, it's all the way back there. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, you're watching me climb all over the place, but I'm going to get the cooking spray instead of using olive oil. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, oh, geez. Doesn't look like it wants to work. You know what? Looks like I'm going to have to use the olive oil to spread it in. So let's see. Here we go. All right. Now, we're going to use the olive oil to actually, let's see if no, it doesn't look like I have those cups to place it in. But however, we're going to use the little bit of olive oil to actually grease up the pans. Now, I'm not as frugal as Sam is, or Jenna, because I think she's frugal. She is such a talented woman. She knows her way around the garden. And let's see. And she knows how to do up a makeup. She can just easily just give you makeup tips. And she does a pretty good job of it too. Okay, I'm going to grease this up. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, let me talk about a certain subject. I think I'm probably starting to bore everybody. Now, let's see. Now, Club Brain Frog, who's one of the Scientology protesters, she's walking okay, but she still has that bruise that she's supporting after that ridiculous sandwich board fell on her. And of course, you know, Scientologists just got so cocky about it. They didn't even ask her if she was all right. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Let's see here. Sorry about the language. Let's see. Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to need my charger. Be right back. Okay. Oh. All right, sorry about that, everybody. So, okay. I had to move some things around in order to put my charger in, but here we go. Now, All right. Now, I know this is the summer and we don't want to turn on the oven, but guess what? I am, and sorry in advance if I'm claiming this is some sort of cooking summer. It isn't. And I'm glad I didn't come out and say that. All right. Now, we're gonna grease up the other pan. Okay. This is so none of the blueberry batters would stick. The muffin sticks. Okay. Yeah, I wish I had a cooking spray so I can get this over and done with, but I'll tell you stories too while I'm greasing this up. Now, let's see. Yeah, I mean, she is still out there, and nothing is preventing Club Brain Frog from going out there and protesting Scientology. She's not letting that thing hold that injured up ankle of hers hold her back. Now, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like she sprained her ankle from that ridiculous sandwich board. Okay. But she says it's bruised up. I believe her because, as you know, we heard that sandwich board fall on her. So nothing is holding her back from protesting. I say good for her. Now, okay. Alrighty. Let me see. This would work. Oops. All right. All right. This is going to work. Of course, I hope she went to the doctor, but if she feels that, I don't know, if she doesn't want to go, you know how some people are, they don't want to go see a doctor. Do I? I try to avoid them altogether, but if you need to see a doctor, you need to see a doctor. But I hope her ankle is getting a little bit more better now. Okay. Yeah, and none of the Scientologists that were in that test center actually asked her if she was all right. No. They're not nice people, as a LAPD or anybody else claimed, especially Karen Bass. She said, oh, these are nice people. No, they're not. And plus, she's also one of them. So I don't think we should nominate any kind of cult leaders whatsoever. Even though, guess what? Trump is a cult leader himself. So, and why did people elect him president? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think it was a ridiculous move. Of course, I'm not taking credit for it. And there are other good people who are not taking credit for him. Okay. But what we need is for people to get out all the corruption that's running around loose, especially Scientology's leader, David Miscavige. And it looks like he corrupted Tom Cruise because before his interviews were so sincere, so professional. Now they're not. It's horrible the way he treated Matt Lauer and the journalist in 60 Minutes Australia. He was being a total jerk. So, yeah. It looks like David Miscavige corrupted him big time. All right. Okay. We're going to put a little more in this one just in case. All right. Should I actually show you the finished product? Well, I should, but since this is live TV, I can't let you guys get dragged along for hours or an hour. Okay. All right, there we go. All greased up and ready to go. Throw this away. Okay. Now we have finished with all these. We're going to put them in the sink. All right. I'm going to put this away so I would have more room to move around. Of course, we've been on air for now about 31 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're going to take should I take? You know what? I'm going to take I'm not going to stick this in the sink right away. Okay, we're going to take the half cup and then stick it in these cups in this pan. Now, are the police department for victims' rights? Yeah, they are. That's the reason why they call them police officers. But at the same time, there were also corruption too in the police department. Although, yes, you're right. They're supposed to be out there to serve the best interest of the public. But yeah, even John Poe himself pointed it out. They are there to serve the public's best interest. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there are some that try to be nice. There are some police officers out there that are nice. But the thing is, they have to set their personalities aside too, unfortunately, and do the best job they can. I like the nicer ones than I think, so do you. But yeah, I mean, there's corruption everywhere in the world. Do we like it? Of course not. It's nice people. We're not into stuff like that. But unfortunately, there's corruption everywhere in the world too. Now, even the police departments. But there are some, believe it or not, the departments do their job, and of course, those some of the corrupt police officers are in prison right now. Okay, but no, they are there to serve everyone's best interest. They're there to serve your best interest. They're there to serve my best interest, your family's best interest, my family's best interest. But yeah, it's sad when, they're corrupt. Some of them, not all of them, but yeah, corruption exists everywhere. Do we like it? Of course not. We want all corruptions to stay out of the public view or out of the public altogether and be put in prisons. That's what the justice system is for. Is it always fair? No. Because if it was fair, David Miscavige should have been in prison by now. And since Tom Cruise is keeping slave labor, he should also be in prison. It's illegal to have slave labor. Okay. So, gonna. Okay. All right. Now, as I'm spooning out everything into this pan, I'm going to keep on talking so there won't be dead air. And now, are celebrities nice? Yeah, there are some that are nice. In my field, as an actor, no, I haven't ran into it yet. Thank God. Because I don't want to deal with that. But as in my career, yeah, well, I had background roles, and in my young years, I did have them come in. But I'm a little older now, and some careers don't last as people get older. But you know what? YouTube does the trick, and guess what? YouTube was not around when I first started my career. Of course, I'm not well known. Am I liking it? I think so, because guess what? Those celebrities do not have it easy. They can't sit and have a meal. They can't walk down the street, go shopping without anyone recognizing them. So I'm fine the way I am. So now, okay. Now, okay. And oh my gosh. I'm in the summer and yet I'm striking up my oven so hot. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to put more in. Of course, that's what it's requiring. Okay. Now this is for our morning brunch. Okay. I'm definitely going to have it today. Now, okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put, oh, wow. All right. Now, what else is there to talk about? Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I didn't see Blown for Good yesterday. Of course, I highly recommend going to sites that talk about victims' rights, like SPTV, or it's so interesting. There are former gangsters like Michael Franzese and Dominic Sicali, who are now out of the life, meaning out of La Cosa Nostra, out of mafia, and living their best life as best way they can without getting hurt or killed. So they totally changed their lives around. And there are people out there who do change. Okay. Now, which one should I recommend? I say Michael Franzese and Dominic Sicali. They are truly authentic. Sammy the Bull, I don't know. I never went to his show. So, okay. And now, did Joey Melino cheat? I don't know. Now he also has his own show called The Skinny with Joey Merlino. Would I recommend him? Now he says that he's out of the life. I believe that because he got shelved. So, and he says he actually, I did see it. He did go into the Y and tell all the kids that were sitting on him to have a good life, a better life, and not to join any of the corrupt organizations like La Cosa Nostra or Scientology, although I don't think he knows what Scientology is. He never really mentioned it, so I assume that he doesn't know. So, okay. All right. Is his friend still in the mom that he grew up with? I think so. Because, of course, you know, this show is about crime and Scientology and other cults. Now, you would think that Jehovah's Witnesses that would talk about God, Christ, but no, they abuse their members. Now, I've known Jehovah's Witnesses in the past. Of course, the people were nice, but there's corruption in Jehovah's Witnesses. So if you're thinking about joining Jehovah's Witnesses, don't. Just because an organization talks about God doesn't mean they're good. Now, go to the regular church. Of course, are all priests nice? Well, they try to be. In regular churches, they try to be nice. Do they always practice acceptance? Mine definitely does. Because I haven't seen them throw anybody out because of who or what they are. I haven't seen it. So my church is good. The Armenian church, so far as I know, practice what they preach. But unfortunately, there are organizations out there that do not practice what they preach, especially acceptance. Now, some churches go around saying that they are accepted, but discriminate against the LGBTQ community, and no, that's not really good. But at the same time, if they want that kind of a relationship, then I don't think we should stand in their way. They are entitled to be happy. And I think that's where the word gay comes from. I'm not sure. Go into the LGBTQ community and ask them why they use that word. Because in the earlier years, when they used the word gay, that means they're happy. So that's what the earlier years did. Use the words. And do they always accept other religions? No, they don't. So if you're thinking about going into a regular church, don't talk about the other religion that you're in, just in case. Because some churches say they accept people for who and what they are, but then turn around and say different. But as far as I know, my church does not do that. Okay. And today, of course, Wicca is accepted into the world. And since the internet was around, they actually give out accurate information out there in the world. And of course, people learn about the world today through the internet. Now, okay, fine. It's not always good information, but it's something to look forward to. But nowadays, Wicca is more accepted now because of the rules this rule that they have: harm none. Of course, for years, we know some of the churches in the past years, in the earlier years, tortured witches for being a witch, even though some of them are not dark or do anything to hurt another human being. And of course, in 1938, Gerald Gardner put together Wicca and fixed it so no evil practices come into that circle. Okay. All right. Well, that should do it. Now the maple syrup should actually give it a flavor. All right. How does it taste? Let me see. Yep, the maple syrup came shining through. All right. Put these in the sink. Oh no, got to take everything out. Okay, let me see here. Okay. I wasn't paying attention, and there are pans in my oven that I have to take out. What are my other pans? Okay. All right. Hopefully I won't burn myself. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, shut the oven quick because I don't want to get hot. All right. Now, some of these are filled a little bit too high. Should I actually leave them in there? No, they're not always even, but you know what? I might just leave it in there because I can't not ruin up the greasy part where it's going to rise. Okay, we're going to stick these into the oven. Okay. And we've been on air for about 48 minutes, which is usually they recommend the algorithms to last at least an hour. Okay. There you go. It is in the oven. Now, let's see. All right. Now, should we make a blueberry snack? Let's see. Yeah, I think we should. Now, it is so interesting to actually make one of these. So I think I will, and it's an excellent, easy recipe. And it's usually had in the summertime, but do people have it in the winter? I think they do. Okay, so I am enjoying actually doing this because okay, now I'm going to plug this in. I don't have a crew. I can't afford to have a crew. Okay. Oh, there. All right. Of course, many people who start out on YouTube don't have a crew. They're not an actor. They're just regular, ordinary people. Okay. Now, all right. Now, since I have the frozen blueberries, we're going to make a blueberry oat smoothie. And I'm definitely going to use the oats that I made the previous week. Am I going to go out and buy the plant-based milk, it doesn't look like I'm going to, since I already made it myself. Of course, I showed you one day on the channel. Now, okay, put in a cup of blueberries. Oh, darn it. Ugh. A couple of blueberries fell out. Do I want to use it? Not really, because my floor's dirty. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to add the cup of blueberry. I am just fussy today. Let's see. Throw this away. All right. Okay, let's see here. Now, let's see here. Okay. All right, now we're going to see if we can put in 3 cups. Okay, 3 cups of oat milk. If they're all go in. All right. Now I made the oat milk by hand, and it's not really hard to do. It is more healthier and more better than the additives and preservatives that other companies put in. Okay, so we're going to pour this in. Okay, let it go through. Is this all going to go in? No, I think only 2 cups of it's going to go in. It looks that way. All right. Yeah, there's a cup of half in there left, but I didn't use it. And guess what? I'm not a math wizard, so. Okay. All right. All right, we're going to close this up. Okay. Oh, now I forgot to tell you how long to bake this for. Bake the blueberry muffins for about 30 to 35 minutes until the inside is dry. If it's dry, leave it in for about 5 more minutes. Okay, now this is what everybody uses to get all the frozen blueberries out. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn this around. Okay. Now, as you go, turn it off every few seconds so your motor doesn't burn out. Now, am I frugal? Am I a master chef? I don't think I am. I'm not a master anything. So, stir this up. But all my stuff is still edible. All right, here we go. I'm going to take this top off for a second. Okay. Oh boy, that was so great. Okay. I think I'm going to clean this up before it actually, yeah, some of them is going to be frozen. And since this is live, there's no involved. So there we go. All right. So we're going to continue to work on this. Oh, jeez. All right. Put this back on. Got some of it on. There we go. Keep stopping it every few seconds because you do not want your motor to burn out. Here we go. Turn it off for a second. Count to 5 and then turn it back on. All right, here it is. There. Now we're going to check to see if all the blueberries are mashed up. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, it's going. It's getting there. Okay. Okay. Stopped it for a few seconds. Stop. And then wait for a few seconds before turning it on. You do that, the motor will cool down. Yeah. As you know, there are devices out there that will burn out on you. So now stop every so second so they don't. Okay. You know what? It's still icy in there, so let's get a butter knife and put it through. Of course, you know sometimes shows are not live, and some of them are recorded ahead of time. Oh, I hope this doesn't get all over my laptop. Okay. All right, you got it there. All right. Now. All right, it's all set and it's ready to go. All right. Of course, we have to get the blueberry stains out before it sets. So blueberry stains are really hard to get out. So we have to wipe it out. Yep, before it sets. Okay. Now we're going to keep on going. There we go. See how it flows? We stop. Okay. Now it's been 1 hour since we came on. All right. So this would make an excellent snack, especially if you're trying to lose a few pounds here and there. Do I need to lose weight? Yeah, a little bit in my belly area. And that's the problem area for me, of course. There are problem areas for some people out there. All right, there it is. Okay. All right. We're gonna actually stick this in. And there we are. Now this thing is only for one person. So, there we go. Looks like it's up halfway. All right. I think I'll pour the rest of my oat milk in. Yeah, that thing is small. Okay. It doesn't fit the whole thing in, but it's up halfway. But you know what? I'll top it off and add in just a little bit more of my oat milk in. Now, did I fall flat on my face with the oat milk? I did a little bit, but if it gets stiff in the bottom, add more water and shake it up and stick it back in the refrigerator, really. And it's definitely going to look like oat milk. Okay. All righty. So then we'll stir this up around. But however, you want to add in vanilla. Can. Now, I think I'm going to add in a little bit of cinnamon. This also brings down your glucose level. Okay. I'm going to put 1 of the teaspoons in. Okay. Now, this is the best part of making your own treat. You don't have additives in your milk, of course. Now, usually if somebody or a company has other chemicals in there, people often actually want to do it themselves. Do I want to do it myself? Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to do it myself. But believe it or not, I'm not for it. And other animal rights are not for it. Having a cow to kill yourself. That's not what I'm about. That's not what the animal rights are about. We do not have anything slaughtered on our table. Okay, then I'm also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. See how this, and am I going to fall flat on my face? I don't know, because guess what? These are the chances you take when you go live. Okay. I'm just going to put in a teaspoon. There we go. Yeah. When you go live, you're sort of taking a chance to see if it turns out right. So it should be it. All right. I thought this was going to be a 45-minute show or a 30-minute show, but no, it continued on for an entire hour. And okay. So I do not try my recipes out ahead of time. No. I am sort of taking my chances and coming on here and doing it. And I feel it's something that I like to do. I'm taking my chances when doing that. Okay. Got blueberry stains on me. That's another thing. You take the chance. Running a chance of getting yourself all messy too. Do I use an apron? Usually no. But all right. There we go. All right. That should do it. How does it taste? You want me to taste it for you now? Let me see here. Now, the fun part of making the smoothie is the straw. Some people use a straw. Some. Let's see here. I think it's good. It's great. This is great to have during the summer. Is it good? It sort of is a little bit plain, but that's what the blueberry's for. And that's why cinnamon and vanilla in to add flavor. Because as you know, oat milk usually does not have any flavor. So when it's accompanied, they actually would add chemicals in there to preserve it. But usually I don't go along with it, but it's good. You taste the cinnamon in there and you taste the vanilla in there, and you get the hint of the blueberry. Usually I don't put anything in my oat milk. So if you want to liven up your oat milk a bit, you can put like a couple of teaspoons of vanilla in there. Put in sugar. I don't really put sugar in my oat milk at all. I just leave it as is. Now, all right. And that should do it today. I hope I didn't really give you any dull moments during my during this stream. And of course, I try to be up to date on each and every Scientology and other cult practices. I'll bring that on. Also, when I'm doing a recipe for you on live, of course, my shows are always live. Do I tape it ahead of time? No, but I'm also taking chances too. Now, okay. And then, nevertheless, going live in front of the entire world is fun and always productive at the end. And ultimately, it just brings out the excitement of being live streamed. And then in conclusion, everybody sees what kind of talent you have, what kind of information to put out in front of viewers. So anyone can do this. Nurses, practitioners. Nurses can go on to give you tips about your health. Other doctors could too. Cooking chefs go on live to actually give a demonstration. And it just works. And other talented streamers are also musicians and want to go on live to show everybody what they got. Actors go on stream to show you what personality to put out there. Well, what character to put out there. And sometimes theater, community theater would also do it too. Then also in conclusion, almost everybody is live streaming nowadays. It's sometimes now the wave of the world. And then that should do it for me. Have a great day. And remember, always never go in a cult. All right. See you later. Oh, by the way, before I leave, hit that like, press subscribe, and I'm definitely going to see you tomorrow.